And I think we are live here. Guys, welcome to this show. Welcome to Brightmind Live Talks. I'm super stoked to actually start this series with you guys. So, as you guys know, my name is Akhil. If you don't know me, my name is Akhil, and I'm one of the co-founders at Brightmind. And I have with me here Harjot and Asif. Harjot and Asif, guys, you guys want to introduce yourselves? Maybe talk about why you guys are sitting together in our live talk.
Yeah, all right, cool, guys. My name is Asif. This is Harjot here, right? We're together because we thought it would be fun to collaborate like this. And, we've been away from each other for a long time with the COVID going on. Now it's just, get in touch with friends and, do things together.
Exactly. And we are live from Malawi, guys, and Akhil's actually in Kenya.
Shout out,
guys.
guys.
So
Shout out.
we've spread over 2 countries right now. We're currently in Kenya and Malawi, and we're looking forward to move to other countries very soon.
Yeah, awesome. So, guys, what is live talks? Guys, like Harjot, Asif, like, tell me, like, why are we doing live talks? What is the goal over here?
I mean, we want to share our experiences, bring other toppers, everyone who has gone through this journey of school, primary, high school, getting into university. We want to share our journey through this program called Live Talks. It's just basically a platform for us to share anything that we can to make sure that we help you improve your grades.
Yeah, I mean, we've been students too, right? And we still are students, right? And we learn every day, we study every day, but we've done stuff that have helped us in getting where we are. And we want to help you as well and teach you what we have done in our methods and how you can use what we have done to improve your grades, improve your lifestyle, improve yourself actually.
Yeah, guys, I mean, apart from that, we do plan to interview lots of people on this show in live talks, try to get a lot of feedback from people who have made it. The idea is to help you guys gain exposure and broaden your perspectives, right? Because when you're in school, it's really sometimes it's really difficult to think about the bigger picture and where you want to go with your career in the future, right? So maybe if we interview someone who's like a really successful sports person, maybe that might open up your mind. If we interview someone who's a really successful businessman or woman, it might really open up your mind, So the goal over here is to broaden your perspectives. So if you guys have any ideas, if you guys want to learn something, we're open to hearing. Like this is all community based. We do have like a large growing community. We've had like over 600 people join the Brightmind app. So we're really excited, guys. If you have any feedback, if you have any ideas, anything that you want us to talk about, always get in touch with us. You can drop a comment. And yeah, I guess without further ado, let us actually, get into this session and start talking about, like what the goal of this session is, which guys is, I know it's exams time. We want you guys to nail your examinations, right? Which is the purpose of this talk, right? But before we go on, right? Let's give a special shout out to our amazing partners. We have collaborated, we have partnered with a couple of institutions, right? And I'm just gonna share who these partners are exactly. So we've basically partnered with Central High School, Hilltop Academy, Premier Academy, Arya Girls and Boys, and Starfield Sports, right? And guys, the goal over here is just to grow our partner base so that we can reach more students, educate more students, and help as many students as possible, right? So yeah, maybe Asif, you want to talk about like specifically why Central High School is like in a bigger font.
Oh yes, because Central High School is one of our major partners right now, and apparently we're working a lot with them, and we want to work with more schools, right? And we started working with Hilltop Academy, Premier Academy, Arya Vedic, and Starfield Sports Limited. If there are any schools out there watching us right now and you want to join our partnership and you want to work with us, please look out for partners. Just drop us an email on hello@brightmind.guru, or we'll leave our details on the description below.
Awesome, guys. Awesome. So yeah, I mean, for those of you who are new to our channel and have never really heard about what Brightmind is and what Brightmind does, essentially, Brightmind is a learning platform where you can come and you can learn anything you need to know for your exams, right? All the way from grade 7 to grade 12, right? And we basically do this by providing you learning videos. We also provide past paper videos. You know how important past papers are. There's a lot of repeat questions, right? And there's a lot of, you can also ask doubts. If you're ever stuck with any question, you can also ask doubts, right? So that is basically what Brightmind is. And, we're just going to give you guys like a quick update. We do have like a small announcement to make. And that is regarding the Brightmind notes, right? So guys, we know, like, for those of you who have been with us, who have already been, on the app for a while right now, we saw that notes is something that a lot of students really wanted, right? Notes is something that helps with, summarizing information and it's like a quick referral so that you don't forget things, right? And it's well structured and well organized, right? So I'm just going to share my screen. I mean, maybe Asif or Jyot, you want to add on, maybe talk a little bit about notes while I share my screen?
Yeah, I mean, these notes are basically for students who are like, now it's exams time, right? You can't go through textbooks, right? You can't read the whole textbook. So we've made short notes that you'll need basically for the exams only, and there's no extra fluff in there. It's just directly to the point what you need to score those grades, right? And at this time, obviously, your brain is just taking a lot of content. So notes are there to streamline things and make it a bit easier.
Yeah, I mean, to add on to that, just from our experience, I remember I used to make short notes for almost each and every subject that I took for IGCSE, A levels, and short notes like really help, especially if you started creating them from the beginning of the year. But I know some of you might have missed that. Someone probably never told you about this trick or about making short notes, and that's why we came up with this idea of, okay, cool, we'll make the short notes so that it's easier for you to access. You can start from wherever you are. Even if exams are approaching in 1 month time, you have access to these short notes. And guys, it's super helpful to have those like summarized notes on the side after you've completed going through textbooks. You have a day to study or 2 days to study. All you have to do is just go through the short notes and revise, refresh your memory, and go write that exam.
Yeah, and by the way, these short notes can be accessed on our website. So if you go on www.brightmind.guru/notes, or you'll see a notes button at the top, a link to the notes, and you should come to this page, which Akhil is showing you right now on the screen, right? And currently, we've got notes for business studies, ICT, economics, and chemistry, and we'll be adding more notes soon with time, right? So Akhil, just want to show them how it works.
Yeah, sure. I mean, guys, don't worry if you didn't grab the links. You're gonna find it in the description by the end of this live session. But yeah, this is basically the notes. So as you can see, we've tried to simplify the structure as much as possible. You can also access this from your phone. So if you're struggling to use your computer, you can always use your phone. And you can see these are all the different topics that are laid out, and then you have the different subtopics that are within them, right? And then once you open into one, you'll be able to see exactly what is being covered and what the concepts are that you need to know. All right, and that's basically how notes works, right? We are constantly working on this. We are adding more content. So yeah, hopefully with time, it's going to get populated a lot more quicker. All right, great. So now I guess I think Harjot and Asif might have had some technical issue and they're not around at the moment. Okay. Anyways, what we can do in the meantime, it's not a problem. What we can do in the meantime is we can go on to the next portion, right? Which was basically where we wanted to share our experiences, and maybe I can start off by talking about my experiences, right? Okay, give me a second, guys. Let me just drop them a text to see if everything is okay. Okay, yeah, I think there's some sort of issue. They are in Malawi at the moment, and as you guys know, the internet connectivity there can get pretty unstable at times. So I think it's not a problem. I think what we can do is I can start off by sharing my experience, right? What I did in high school, what worked for me, and how I was actually able to achieve decent results, right? I actually got in my O levels, I got 6 A stars, 3 A's, and 1 B. Okay, I think our boys are actually here. Harjot and Asif are actually here. Shout out to Victor. Thanks for the comment, man. Guys, we want to see more comments. If you're live, if you're tuning in live right now, I know a lot of you said that you won't be able to make it, but if you are here, definitely drop us a comment. If you have any question, you can also feel free to drop it in the chat, right? But yeah, okay. So as Harjot and Asif load, okay, they're here. They are. Yeah. Hey, Harjot and Asif, what's up, man? What happened?
Internet dropped. Well, we're in Malawi right now. You know the issues that happen here, so we got to deal with it. But apologies about that. We're back in action now.
Awesome. Yeah. So guys, basically I was about to move on to our next segment, which was to talk about our experiences, right? And I basically started off by talking about what worked for me specifically in high school, and a little bit context as to what my conditions were, because every school, every individual, you have different conditions, right? So basically in my school, we were in a very competitive environment. Like, my classmates were extremely smart, and I always had the urge of wanting to do well, right? So I think I would say that I'm really grateful to have been surrounded in that atmosphere. And in my O levels, I managed to get 6 A stars, 3 A's, and 1 B. Yeah, Harjot, Asif, can you guys guess the B?
The B must be English.
English.
Yeah, man, dude, like English, dude. I don't understand like what the examiners exactly do. Like, honestly speaking, I felt like I gave it my 100%, to be honest, right? But I still got a B. Like, it really sucks to have that 1 B. But anyways, it is what it is. And just reflecting on my experience a little bit. So as I said, like, I was in a highly competitive environment, but luckily, like, through that you make a lot of friends, right? And I ended up doing a lot of group studying. So group studying is something that really worked for me in high school, right? Where we would study together for tests. Tests were constantly happening in my school, and we would constantly make sure that we understood everything. And also, while doing the group studying, one really important thing is that we would actually explain concepts to each other, right? And it's kind of like, you become the teacher and you're explaining a concept, and through that process you actually tend to understand things a lot more, right? When you explain something, the concepts just kind of settle in your mind, right? So group studying is definitely something that worked for me. Maybe Harjot and Asif, if you guys want to pop in over here and talk about your guys' experiences, and as we go, we can give them a few more tips.
Yeah. So maybe I'll start off by introducing where exactly we graduated from. So we graduated from centralized school. I know there are a couple of centralized school students over here, and that was 2016, I think. 2016.
2015.
2015.
Yeah.
That's when we actually graduated from there. And just reflecting back to like my experience, I wasn't like a topper throughout my entire academics. Like, from primary, I used to be like position 20. I still remember my ranks. From 7 to 9, I just made it through. And what really pushed me is my GCSEs and A levels. When I got to that stage is when I got that push to go forward. And I think one of the major things that actually worked out, that Khil actually mentioned, was group study. Asif also took similar subjects as me. We went to the same university. Yeah. We studied the exact same degree. We studied electrical and computer engineering. So we've known each other since quite a long time. And group study, why it actually really worked was we could actually discuss questions, something that I didn't understand, he would know it. And something he doesn't understand, I would know it. I remember we actually became best friends because of that entire relation that was happening. I was helping in maths, he was helping him in IT, and things like that were happening. And it really helped, right?
Yeah, it definitely did. Like, guys, group study is actually one of the coolest things and very underrated things right now, right? Like, most of us don't do it because our parents think that, I'm going to be chilling with my friends, we're going to be messing around. It's part of studying, you think about it, right? A little bit of messing around helps as well, because it lets you cool down and lets you like release the stress that you have for exams. But don't mess around the whole time, obviously, right? Be serious in what you're doing. Like, we've been using this group study method since IGCSE, moving into A levels, and going all the way to university, right? And we graduated as well now, right? So this method worked for us, right? And
yeah, I mean, guys, like, I just want to mention something, Asif, real quick. Like group studying is great in like building relationships as well, because through group studying is where like Harjot, Asif, and myself we actually got really close, right? Remember, like we used to work on those computer science assignments, guys. I mean, like it was really, really difficult.
Yeah,
Right?
like that's how we became close to Akira. Otherwise, we hardly even met. But the more we started, like studying together, right? We started becoming closer and closer, and you build long-lasting friendships like that because you have people with you who are in the same boat as you, right? At a time where it's very stressful, and those are moments as well, right? So make studying like a moment. Don't think of it as a stress thing in your head. Make it a moment. Make it something memorable that you remember later on. That's how you enjoy doing it, right? That's the point of group studying.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna just take a moment. Yeah, or just 1 second. I'm just gonna take a moment to give a special shout out to Maria and Saliha in the comments. Hey, how's it going, guys? Hope you guys are keeping well. Thank you so much for tuning in. Saliha said that I feel you with the internet. So yeah, guys. I mean, I think internet is just a huge problem in Malawi. It looks like it. But yeah, guys, shout out. Feel free to drop any questions you might have if you have any. All right. So yeah, I think Harjoti was saying something. I cut you off there for a second.
Yeah, so early this year we introduced this feature called on-demand tutoring. We understand that sometimes you don't really have that friend you can go ask a question to. Group study, it's sometimes very difficult, especially if you change schools, your friends are very new, you haven't really found that person to work with. And that's how we came up with this feature called on-demand support, where you can actually access a tutor whenever you need help. It's not really group study where you actually in person with that tutor, but somehow it simulates that idea of asking a question, discussing a question, discussing a concept and understanding it pretty well. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, guys, like it's pretty simple, right? Like I'll be honest with you, group study is actually the key to actually getting you top grades. And apart from that, at this moment, I'm going to give you a small tip of how you can use group study with your current exams, right? So right now, let's say right now you should be focusing on past papers because past papers is what, if you just do past papers, you'll definitely get a C, and that's my guarantee to you, but do it really well because majority of the questions are repeated, right? Only if you don't understand a concept, you go back to your book or to maybe the Brightmind notes or the Brightmind app to check for your concepts, right? But you do past papers, but you don't do them yourself. What you do is grab a friend, right? Both of you look at the paper. Each one of you have your books on the side and write the answers together. After every question, discuss it and see what went wrong, what went right. If you guys got the same answer, it's great. If you haven't, you can explain each other, right? So like the group study with past papers is going to guarantee you an A if you do it well.
Yeah, I mean, alternatively, guys, like we understand, like it's the pandemic, and maybe it might not be possible to meet up, or maybe it's just not possible to get on a call with a mate or whatever, right? In such an instance, what I recommend you guys to do is, if you have any, if you want to practice, do past papers. Like, yeah, past papers is key, guys. Do a past paper. Try and see if your answer matches that with what is in the marking scheme. If it doesn't match, or if you don't understand something in the marking scheme, that's when you can ask a doubt on the Brightmind app, right? If you ask a doubt, our instructors actually explain in detail, and hopefully your doubt will be cleared. And that's how, in case you cannot do group studying, this is a nice alternative, all right? Because group studying can also get like sometimes it can also be counterproductive, right? Depending on the kind of friends you have, right? Because sometimes you might be discussing a certain question, and then like out of nowhere, you just get distracted because you're with your friends, right? So there are upsides and downsides to group studying, and it might work for you, it might not work for you, right? We'll definitely be talking about a few more tips that will help you, right? But yeah, I mean, like Asif, man, I just want to ask you a question, dude. Like, so as we know, like, I mean, Harjot and I, like, we kind of made it through high school. Like, we were like the studious type. Like, we kind of made it, dude. Like, we kind of always had good grades, right? But for you, like, you were like kind of like you were like a dead student, like from the graveyard, and like you just raised up and you managed to get into UCT, and today, like, despite whatever results you got in high school, we're like co-founders, we're running the same company. I mean, like, dude, tell me about how did you make it? Like, being a completely like below average student, how did you make it to your dream uni, bro?
Okay, I think you're just embarrassing me now. I wasn't that bad. Like, the thing is that I've always been, like, all of us are smart in our own ways. We all have our own abilities. It's just that it took time for me to realize what mine were and what I wanted to do, right? Uh, yeah, basically, my biggest weakness was maths. But what's funny is what I really want to do is engineering, right? And like it didn't balance off that a guy who wants to do engineering is really bad at maths. And the moment I figured out what I want to do in life and what grades can do for you and how things can get better for you, like yeah, I think things just flowed in slowly. And I started working hard, practicing papers every day. As I said, past papers, guys, it's very important. Like, if you just get that right, it's going to like skyrocket your grades, right? So yeah, like, I started doing papers every day, watching a lot of YouTube videos. By the way, I used to watch a lot of YouTube videos on maths, on physics, on chemistry. YouTube was like my lifesaver during my university time, my time in like IGCSE and stuff like that. And that's why Brightmind was even born, was because of the problem
Yeah.
we faced ourselves during school times.
Yeah, now that you've mentioned about maths, right? I don't want to boast about myself, but like I was like a topper for maths in high school.
No flexing, no flexing.
So one nice tip, like something that really worked for me, was I mastered the questions that actually gave me high marks, and I went for those first. So I remember for GCSEs and A levels, there are questions with like 6 marks, 8 marks, and I made sure that I practiced all the past papers and mastered those questions properly. So because questions are usually repeated, just the figures change, the way they ask you, they change. So if you master those 8 mark questions, 6 mark questions, 4 mark questions, attempt them first, get them done, then jump into the 1 2 mark questions. I'm sure that you'll pass. You'll make it through a C or get a A grade. That was something that
Yeah.
worked for me personally.
Yeah. Nah, dude, I couldn't agree more. Like, that also worked for me. Like, that's a great strategy, right? Tackle out the bigger marks first, because so that you can capture most of the marks in the paper, and then after that you can tackle out the smaller marks. So I think that's a great strategy, guys. I think that's a great tip if you can take that home. But I think what I want to talk about briefly, guys, is like, what are the different steps that you can take, right? Like, from the point of like, being in class, to preparing for an exam. What exactly are the steps you should take to actually make sure that you do well in your final exams, right? I think maybe you guys can hop in, but I'm going to just talk about exactly what I did when I was in high school. So the first thing is, when you're in class, pay attention, guys, because if you pay attention, concepts can definitely stick in your mind, right? So I know it is exams time, but this is definitely something that can be useful for you next year, right? And if things make sense, great, right, in class. But if things don't make sense, that's when you have to go home and you have to do some sort of thinking on exactly what is it that didn't click in your mind. Maybe it might not happen the same day, right? Because as like, who likes studying, guys? Like, let's face it. I mean, like, there's much more fun things to do apart from studying, right? So I mean, specifically, what I'm saying over here is that during, like, when your test schedule is released, like, normally your test schedule will be released, and when a test schedule is released, definitely have a plan as to how you're going to tackle those tests, right? Because you've got to make sure that you actually do well in those tests, right? Because these small tests that you keep doing add up, right? When your final exams come, it definitely gets a lot easier, right? So the first thing is, you have to understand the concepts, right? You have to learn the concepts. These are the fundamentals of what we built Brightmind on, guys. It's the learn, practice, and ask component, right? Learn, like, you've got to make sure that you're understanding the concepts, which is why we have lots of videos that you can refer to on the app. Alternatively, if you don't want to use Brightmind app, it's super chill. Like, you can go on Google and figure it out and go through the whole nightmare of looking through content. But you've got to make sure that you figure out a way to understand concepts, right? That could mean you could ask your teachers, or you could ask a friend, and just make sure that you're actually understanding stuff. And that makes things a lot easier. It's just understanding. So once you've learned, you practice. Like, practice worked examples in textbooks. Practice past papers. Past papers is like the biggest thing. keep doing as many past papers as possible. And anytime you have a question, you've got to ask. Like, make sure you're asking these questions, whether it's to your friends, whether it's through the Brightmind app, through a doubt. Just make sure that your doubts are cleared, because when you go into that exam hall, you want to just make sure that your mind is clear and you've understood everything. All right. So I think that is basically what I did. I made sure that I understood everything. I made sure that I had a plan in place and I prepared everything properly. And so this is something, and then practicing past papers. And when the exam time came, it was like super chill, because you've studied so hard for all the different tests, it gets so easy to study in the final exams, because you've looked at that material again and again, you've seen what mistakes you've made, and you've learned from your mistakes, right? So that is kind of like a roadmap of what I did, guys. I know if you're worried that, like, the tips are kind of all over the place, don't worry. Like, we have a segment where we're just going to summarize the tips for you. All right. I mean, like, Harjot, Asif, maybe you guys want to talk about, what exactly worked for you, specifically, like, kind of like in this roadmap that I spoke about. Like, are there any things that I missed out, or anything that you guys would like to add to it?
Like, I think how I actually studied, especially for exams, when exams are coming near, I actually had a proper plan, like a schedule of what I'm going to be doing when, the day-to-day plan. And once I had that set, I was basically following that. So if I'm writing a chemistry exam next week, Wednesday, I'll study for 2 days now, and then 2 days before the exam. And between that, I'll probably study for my following exams. So I had some plans like that that were laid out, and I just kept on following. Apart from that, I started practicing with the content itself, went through all the content, made sure I've got my short notes. This is like months before the exams even started. So if I'm writing in May, June, I've already started preparing for this exam 2 months ago. Once I've understood the concepts, jump into past papers and make sure I do at least 4 years of past papers for each and every subject. And once I've done that, I'm definitely not super confident. Depends on the subject. I was good in maths, terrible in chemistry. I just like kept on practicing those past papers. And the last day, what I'll do is I'll just go over all my notes, short notes, whatever I've written. Not Don't touch your past papers, and just before your exams, like, don't touch your books. Feel fresh, go for a walk, listen to music, just relax and go write your exam. I'm sure that way it will work out. I always used to keep my mind free just before the exam, hours before the exam. I would not study. What people usually do is they panic and they start reading so many things, and all you remember is what you actually went through at that moment, the hour before, and you forget about everything that you studied for 2 months. So don't do that
Bro, wait,
mistake.
I'm going to stop you there for a second, bro, because I'm definitely one of those kids who's like, until the exam, like right before the exam, 5 minutes before the exam, I'm going to have like a book open, and like I'm going to be going through the stuff, man. So I don't know about that. Like, I do agree with you. It does reduce the stress if, like, you don't look through your notes right before the exam. But I stress a lot, right? And I feel like it depends on every individual, right? For me, it's like I get a sense of relief, like if I'm studying like until 5 minutes before the exam. When I sit in that exam hall, I'm like, okay, I've done whatever I could have, right? I've done everything, I've maxed out everything I could have, right? And I'm just going to write this exam now, right? So it's kind of like a psychological thing that worked for me. But dude, I totally agree with you. Like, it's unhealthy to do that. Like, guys, I recommend you to just stay away from books, be with a fresh mind before going to write exams. Yeah, I mean, Asif, is there anything you want to share before we go to the next segment, where we can talk about, like, what are the tips that you can take home today? Like we're going to list it out for you guys and tell you guys exactly what you can work on from today.
I mean, to be honest, during my GCSEs, I was all over the place because I didn't prepare well for it, right? And I regretted that, right? But then later on, during the last few weeks actually, that's when Hadu told me about his plan and I followed what he was doing. But it was just very stressful because I had a lot on my plate. But the method definitely worked.
Hello. Awesome. Yeah, I think we had a little glitch over there. Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear you. Sorry about. I
All
think it's
right,
the
guys.
internet. Also.
Yeah, I mean, now let's just go ahead and talk about. I mean, if you guys have any questions for us, definitely feel free to drop it in the chat, or if you're watching this after the recording, definitely feel free to drop a comment, and we're happy to help you guys out. If there's anything we've missed, specifically in our experiences, if you guys are curious about anything, you can feel free to ask us. Right? Maybe we can have like another talk where we talk about exactly what we're doing and what is it that we are up to these days. But now I think let's move on to the next segment, right? The tips that you can take home today, right? Like today, like if you're writing an exam tomorrow, if you're writing an exam this week, next week, these are things, actionable steps that you can take from now, right? So guys, the first thing is, try to keep your environment organized, right? This kind of affects you subconsciously, right? For me, like when I was in high school, even at university, I didn't really work in a clean environment in my room, right? And heck, like I never even studied on my table. I would study on my bed, right? That kind of just, well, what I did, right? But I think for a lot of individuals, keeping your environment organized helps a lot. I'm a witness of this. Like I've experienced this, right? When I went to university, and I've studied in the library, right? The library is a really neat place. The environment is extremely, the atmosphere there is really quiet, and you just tend to focus more. Like the goal over here, like the reason why you want to keep your environment organized is so that you can focus, right? I mean, Harjot, Asif, guys, if you have anything to add on, please feel free to just pop in. Okay. But yeah, I think this is one thing that might work for you, might not work for you. But the idea, the goal over here is to make sure that you have that focus when you're studying. Like you're not distracted by anything else, and you're just completely focused on your study notes that you should have made. Or if not, you can always check out Brightmind notes. Yo, Harjot, Asif, you guys there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
sorry. Yeah, sorry. I think there was a glitch on over there. But yeah, I completely agree. Make sure your environment, you're able to focus. You can basically work in any environment. I mean, I've seen people working in coffee shops. Like it works out for them, and it really depends on you. Where exactly can you focus? Where you're not distracted, and all you're doing is you're in that new world of just studying. If you're studying biology, you're in the world of biology, and nothing else is disturbing you. Yeah, just try to get into that zone, that study zone, and once you're in that study zone, yeah, time just goes and you just keep on studying, and yeah, things work out.
yeah. What's funny is like I've seen people with like big headphones and loud music and studying as well. So it's like basically just depends on how you focus on what you do.
Yeah, they got
Nah,
like
dude,
rap
Asif,
music.
I'm actually one of those guys. Like I've actually studied like that. Not in high school. Like when I was in uni, I studied like that. I would wear my headphones and I would go on YouTube, and there was like this alpha waves or beta waves music, like study music. Like I would just type study music on YouTube, and that kind of just helped me get in the zone, right? So, guys, that's also another tip. Like you can check out study music if that works for you while studying. Yeah, it's definitely something you can do. Like specifically while you're practicing questions, right? If you're reading content and you want to like memorize stuff, or you want to really understand something, I just recommend you're just in a neat place, like your table is neat, and you're able to focus, and you're able to absorb that information, right? Let's go on to the next point, right? I think this is something that really works for everyone, right? Your own notes and past papers. Okay, now guys, the reason why you make your own notes in the first place is because when you're writing down a concept, obviously you shouldn't be copying what you're writing down when you're making your own notes. It's kind of what you want to remember, right? So once you read it, once you understand it, you write down what you've understood. And once you make that, once you've written that down, it sticks with you. Like try it out, right? The moment you've written that down, you're actually going to keep that in your mind, and it's going to be it's going to be very clear, right? That is something that worked for me, right? So this is something that you can definitely do. Like you can create your own notes. If that's not working out, definitely check out the Brightmind notes. Okay. And you can use the Brightmind notes to actually make your own notes, right? The goal at the end of the day is so that you can easily remember this. You have some sort of deep retention of these concepts, so that you can easily when you're in the exam, you can easily remember certain things, right? And I think past papers is something we've been speaking about throughout this talk. Guys, yeah, just keep doing past papers, man. Like it's as simple as that. Like the latest papers, 2020, 2021, now 2020, 2019, 2018. Try to do as many papers as you can, starting from the latest, because the syllabus does change, right? So that's definitely something that you should constantly do. I mean, Harjot, Asif, maybe you guys want to add on something over here.
I mean, we've been speaking about own notes and past papers throughout the session. Past papers really works. Like questions just keep on repeating. So once you understand the question itself, you'll be able to answer it. And you just need to master the skill of understanding that question. Because sometimes what really happens is you misunderstand the question, you answer something else, and the examiner doesn't want that, and you get the entire question wrong. So past paper is really helpful to understand the question better. And as you keep on seeing new and new questions, you will understand what the examiner really wants. Compare your answers with the marking schemes. Yeah. So compare with the marking schemes and see what are the keywords that the examiner is looking for, and make sure you keep on using those keywords, because all the examiner wants to see is those keywords. They won't be reading all your paragraphs. They just see your keywords, and if you have those keywords, they'll mark you right. They'll give you the points. That's it. It's that simple. So yeah, just keep on practicing past papers. I know some of you are writing in a month's time. You still have time. Keep pushing with past papers, and yeah, go through your notes, your short notes, and yeah, that will be good enough for the exam session.
Cool, man. So I think the next thing is also something that we've spoken about in great detail: group studying. This is something that worked for us, at least, and it could be something that could work for you. So right before the exam, definitely feel free to just get on a call with your friend, maybe if you're working remotely, and just ask questions, just discuss concepts, and that'll be extremely helpful for you guys. I think we're not going to talk too much about that because we've already spoken a lot about it. And then the next thing is, yeah, as Harjot mentioned briefly, right? Especially during exams time, you want to control your stress levels, right? And a great way to control the stress levels is you take regular breaks from your studying. Make sure you're staying active. So if you can like do some sort of exercise, that'll be great. If not, just play like a game of soccer or something with your friends, or just do something like that makes you like walk around, or something that gets your blood flowing, right? Drink water, eat healthy. These are things that help with focus, right? Specifically, remember the goal is to stay focused. All right. And I think the next thing is make a plan, right? Make a plan and execute on it for the coming weeks, right? You've got to make a plan. You've got to have some sort of idea of what is it that you're supposed to do today. What is it that you're going to do tomorrow and for the rest of the week? Like have some sort of, and like the plan doesn't have to be like too detailed, it could just literally be like, a one-liner or like 3 lines saying that, okay, tomorrow I'm actually going to make sure to do 2 chemistry papers and 2 physics papers. And, tonight I'm just going to do 1 maths paper, right? So just have like an idea of what you're doing and make sure it aligns with what's coming, right? And once you've made these plans, you can definitely execute. You have to make sure that you're executing on it. That's why keep your plans as simple as possible. It doesn't have to be too detailed. You've just got to have an idea of what you're doing over the coming few days, right? If you need advice on that, definitely feel free to join the Brightmind app, because we do have mentors and we're readily available, right? If students have questions, they can literally drop the text, and we even help them with this sort of stuff, right? With making plans and just just giving advice on how you can make a plan and how you can execute, right? So that's all, guys. That's all from our side today. Talking about all the different tips. And I promise you guys, if you've done these things, and if you're able to put these things to practice, nothing is going to stop you from nailing your examinations, right? If you guys have any other tips, something that has worked for you that we did not mention, definitely feel free to drop it in the comment. And yeah, guys, definitely like, share, subscribe, and you can give us more feedback on this kind of content that we're posting out, right? We do plan to do a lot more interviews, a lot more, have fun conversations with people to bring you this content. So if you guys have any ideas for us, definitely feel free to drop it in the comment, or you can definitely reach out to us. We're going to put our email, and we're going to put whatever links were mentioned in this talk in the description. Right. So guys, it's been good. I hope you had a good session. Harjot, Asif, maybe you guys want to close off. We're going to close off now.
All right, cool guys. Thank you so much for being here. This was a great session, and I hope it helped you to improve the way you think, improve the way you would study for exams. And good luck for your exams, guys.
Yeah, guys, don't stress a lot. Just keep working hard. Make sure you give your best, and I'm sure you won't be disappointed. So good luck for your exams, guys.
It's definitely going to pay off. Trust me. It's
100%.
definitely going to pay off.
Yeah, guys, like you're going to go to your really good uni soon, like if you get good results. So all the best, guys. I hope you guys had a good one. We'll see you guys in the next one.